everybody. What was I doing there? Well, I was using what are called triads. Triads are the simplest chord that you can make. It has 3 notes in it. As the root of the chord, so if we're playing, for example, a C chord, here's a C note. And by the way, this video would be for sort of intermediate players. If you're just beginning, this is probably not for you. You can watch it, but I don't think you're quite ready for it yet, okay? So, where was I? Yes, triads. The C chord, if we take a C, here's your C chord, this note right here, that's a C. If we go up 3 notes on the C scale, C, D, E, then there's that note, 2nd fret on the D string. So those 2 notes, C, E, and then the 3rd note is the 5th note up the C scale. So C, D, E, F, G. So you make a basic major chord by taking the 1st note of the scale for that chord, in this case C, then adding 3 notes up the scale, E, and 5 notes up the scale, G, C, E, G. Okay, so that's what a triad is. Now what I'm going to talk about today are what I think are the 3 basic chord forms on the guitar. You can learn thousands of chords, but they're all based on these 3 basic forms. That's a little guitar player's secret. Okay, so what are they? Well, we're going to focus on just the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings right now. We can play triads on any set of 3 strings. But right today, we're going to just talk about 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, because I think they're very useful. So I'm going to call them by what they look like. There's all sorts of names for these: root inversion, 1st inversion, 2nd inversion. I'm trying not to confuse you. I'm just going to call it by what it looks like. So the first chord we're going to look at is what I call an A shape, which looks like an A chord. So 2nd fret, those 3 straight across. So you should know an A chord. So that's an A chord. And what's going to happen, we're just going to play those 3. And then we're going to be able to move that up the neck. So A, if we go up 1 fret, it's an A sharp, or a B flat, and it's a B, then it's a C, etc., etc., right up the neck. Okay? So that's the A form. That's form number 1. Form number 2, the F form, looks like the F chord. But again, just the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th string. You don't have to worry about barring those top 2, just those 3. So that's an F, and again, we can move that up. F, 1 fret up, F sharp. 2 frets up, G, etc., etc. And again, down here, we're just playing those 3 strings, okay? Because if you play other strings, it's not going to sound so great. Okay, and the last shape is what I call a C shape. Here's a C chord. So if we just pare that down to the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings, you get this shape. Now, here's the problem. If we start moving that up the neck, this G string here is still open. So that's going to sound okay here, not so good there. Interesting, but not a real triad. So what you have to do is replace these 2 with the middle 2 fingers. So I've got my middle finger on that 2nd string and my ring finger on the D string. Now this pointer finger is free. As we go up, we can put that down. And make the triad. So, for example, if I started that on the 2nd fret, there's the shape. That's, believe it or not, that's a D chord. If you don't believe me, here's a D. Here's a D. And some of you are thinking, well, wait a minute, what about a G? What kind of form is that? A G is actually an A form moved down. A, A flat, and then G. Those three strings open. I know you don't believe me, but it's true. And what about a D chord? Well, a D chord is basically a C chord moved up. So, and then what happens is, because this note, this fourth string is a D, we don't need to finger it, so we just play these two, and then we have to grab this F sharp right there. So that's an argument for later, but I just wanted to show you that I have thought of these things. Okay, so here's the three shapes again. The A shape, the F shape, and the C shape. I'm going to play it here. Now, I'm going to give you a little exercise to do to get you going up the neck with these shapes. And don't be surprised if, when you learn it, you totally forget what chord you're playing. The point is to get physically comfortable, and then, once you're comfortable, you can start focusing on what the heck you're doing. Okay, so I'm going to start out with an A. Now, on all of these, you can play the A string with them. Going to do is we're going to play an A chord, a D chord, and an E chord, what's called a 1-4-5 progression in the key of A. So we're playing A like this, then we go to the D chord, which is this C shape on the 2nd fret, then we're going to move that up 2 frets, D, D sharp, E, and then we're going to go to the 5th fret, F shape, which is an A chord. So we have A shape, A chord, C form or C shape, D chord, E chord, which is the C form on the 4th fret, and then F form on the 5th fret, which is our A chord. So we just went A, B, E, A, but we did it like this. And if you play it with the A string, it looks like this, or it sounds like this. Okay, now let's continue. So here we are at this A. The next chord we want is a D. We get that by playing an A shape on the 7th fret. And then move that up 2 frets, that becomes an E chord. And then, so we're on the 9th fret, then make your C form chord, your triad, and that's another A. So those were like this: A with an F shape on the 5th, D with an A shape on the 7th, E with an A shape on the 9th, A is a C shape on the 9th. I know it's beginning to sound a little like math class, but bear with me. Now let's finish it up. We're going to start with this guy. You people with cutaways or electrics are going to have an easier time here. So that's your A. Then your D chord is an F shape on the 10th fret. Again, we're just on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th strings. And then move up 2 more frets, you get an E, and then lie that finger down to get the A, however you want to do it, and there's your A chord. So you have A, which is a C form on the 9th, D, which is an F form on the 10th, E, which is an F form on the 12th, and then the A, which is an A form on the 14th fret. So going all the way up the neck, we get this. Now you want to strum that, if you want, with the A string. Physical thing going. Get comfortable physically, because if you're not, you won't be able to think about what you're doing. But once again, the chords are A, D, E, A. A again, D, E, A. A, D, E, A. And you've heard plenty of riffs with these little triads in them. You've got, you know, that Ozzy tune. If you don't know what I'm talking about, if you do, there's a middle part, the rhythm for the verse that goes. That's just using those triads. A, E, D, A. And all the time keeping that open A string. And there's... That's another famous riff. Here's another famous riff. You may or may not know any of these, but just showing you that this is a very, very useful little tool that I've just shown you. So go have fun.